I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it. I can't be associated with. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it. I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you? I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it, and I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. So somebody asked me like, oh, so what do you identify as now? If you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. But they're actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites, and they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The Israelites have been have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand the Hebrew Israelites consensually are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously. You think I'm over here watching Hebrew Israelite debates, Eliezer? The same recycled, backwash topics? I think not. I've been there. I've done that. I came. I saw. I conquered that. I'm not. I'm just letting you know. All I gotta say is all them niggas need to get in my debate course. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the things I do see or the things I do hear about, they need help. They need help, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all them niggas need to go ahead and get up in the Cutthroat Academy. Because what I see, not good. Okay, not horrible all the time, but niggas need help, for real. I'm on TikTok. I'm going to be doing exclusive premium lives for subs only once a week also. Appreciate you, Umu.
I want to make my wrongs.
Did you come with the follow? Come with the follow, too. We turn up. I want you to understand something. I'm in my unlimited era right now. You're going to see all forms of content on here. You're going to see real game. You're going to see Bible talk. You're going to see funny stuff. You're going to see me talking to broads. You're going to see how fresh I am. You're going to see family content. You're going to see hood stuff. You're going to see everything. I'm unlimited. Right? Praise the Lord. You're going to see debates. I'm unlimited now. Right? I'm just me. I'm doing everything that I want to do. Right? So it's beautiful. So definitely make sure you following because you're going to get everything in here. Shout out to Stacks Francis just came to the building. He know.
Alright, Shalom to the elect of Israel.
I'm not a part of the Hebrew
I want to
Israelite
start
community.
by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Grla Hebrew has officially left the chat. I repeat, Grla Hebrew, a.k.a. Alazar, right, of Sakari, okay, has left the chat. He has officially, fell out. He turned his back. You just heard himself say it. None of us brothers said it. He said it. Now we're telling you that he said it. This man has officially, and this man was supposed to be the leader of his of those who were following him, man. What an example, What an example. He got pegged and then left. So what? Man. And the thing is, Yahweh Shai has no more pleasure in this man. You see? All these things he was doing, trying to be a rapper and, gang banging at the same time and going on no jumper, and then saying erroneous and horrible stuff. Like, for example, we might have anywhere from now to like 1,000 years left. it's really crazy, man. You know, and some of the stuff he said in this video just now, you know, he kind of contradicted himself. All right, but just understand Yahweh Shai has no pleasure in him. And as another brother said, he never did. So, I'm going to get that. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10. Let me see if I can pull it up in the NLT, actually. Hebrews, chapter 10, and verse... Alright, this is Hebrews chapter 10, starting at verse 35. It says, in the NLT, which is on the right side of the screen, it says, so do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward it brings you. Patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do the Most High's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. For in just a little while, the coming one will come and not delay. Right? Verse 38, and my righteous ones will live by faith, but I will take no pleasure in anyone who turns away. I'm going to read that part in the KJV. Now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, meaning go back into the world, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. So you go into the world, the Lord takes no pleasure in you. Okay, you literally turn your back on the Lord. Here it is, and you had, and Al-Azhar had a high up position. You know, remember, brothers, he was talking all types of crazy about the apostles and brothers in GMS. You know, he was talking all crazy. Look at all these other camps outside of GMS, and look at and look at what they're doing. Okay, how can you not see that GMS doesn't have the 100% truth and is the right camp to follow? How can you not see it? You know, you got IUIC's mess. Right? ISUPK's mess. Watchmen for Israel's mess. Shakari, look, their leader just dipped on him. Okay? Let's go back and listen to some of that real quick. He said he's not with it anymore. Okay?
Talking about it. And I can't be associated with I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it. And I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. And I can't.
And that's one thing he said wrong. All right? How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I mean, the thing is, you trying to say that you're not a Hebrew Israelite anymore now. Look, I'm just say this. A person is an Israelite regardless of whether they believe in the truth or not. You got the elect who believe in the truth. And then you got Israelites that don't believe in the truth. All right, but you're born an Israelite. It's not something that you convert into. Okay?
Be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you? I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it, and I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. So somebody asked me like, oh, so what do you identify as now?
And my thing, right? One thought I had is, okay, so, and we know this man, you know, he doesn't teach. I mean, Sakari is a different camp. All right, they're not with Great Millstone. All right, but look, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, how do you expect? Because just because you don't believe anymore or turn your back, that's not going to stop the prophecies from happening. America's still going to get destroyed. This place is still going to fall. Jacob's trouble is still going to come. So what are you going to do? What the hell is you going to do, man? All right? the scriptures say this. Meanwhile, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone have been pushing for 30 plus years, man. But this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 14. What woe unto you that have lost patience? Meaning, woe unto you that have went back in the world, man. You done turned your back on Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. He brought you into this truth, gave you all this wonderful knowledge. All right, you know things about the past and the future and the present. All right, you gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know who you are. You're an Israelite. You woke up. You know what it takes to get up out of here. You see? So, but you want to turn back on the Lord? And after everything he's done for you and got you out of different trials and tribulations? Look, Sirach 2 and 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. The Lord saves in time of affliction. But now you done fell out. You done turned your back on the Lord. After all the stuff he's done for you, you done turned your back on it. It makes sense why the Lord will have no more pleasure in you. You know? This is oh man, for you people in Sakari, look man, start learning from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, GMS, all right? Your own leader just dipped on you. He just turned his back. He said he doesn't associate with being a Hebrew Israelite anymore. All right? Stop. Don't try to, look around it. Listen to what he just said. Leave, man. And start learning from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Okay? How about that, man? Grla Hebrew has officially left the chat. It's over with. He's cooked. All right? He's now susceptible to being a part of the second death. It's Revelation chapter 2 and verse 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh, meaning he that endured to the end, which he did not do. He just called it quits. And it's not even Jacob's trouble yet. And Al-Azhar just called it quits. He just fell out. All right? And like the brothers say, remember too, because once again, like the apostles, elders, and brothers say, because they say Al-Azhar said he's been teaching for over 15 years. I don't know if that's true or not. All right, but nevertheless, you could, regardless of the amount of time you have in the truth, you could fall out any day, and that is a scary thing. And when you fall out, now, the Lord takes no pleasure in you, and now you're going to be destroyed. You see? It's Revelation 2 and 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And the second death is that nuclear fire. And the elect are the only ones that's going to overcome and endure to the end. Al-Azhar, all right, just is not a part of the elect. It's that simple. The elect are going to keep their faith to the end, man. But see, Yahushua said if you endure to the end, you don't have to go through that second death. You see that? But Al-Azhar just called it quits on camera. Matthew 24 and 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. You see? And then let's listen to some more of what this monkey said. I mean, he calls himself a gorilla, right? So let's listen.
Now, if you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop.
I mean, now when you say it's a movement, right? He was meaning like how you have. He must mean it like how you have like the Black Panther movement and all these different types of things out here. But really, what's going on is prophecy. This is not just some people got together in some type of room and start talking about ways to say that blacks, Latinos, Native Americans are Hebrew Israelites. That's not what happened. All right. That's not the case. Well, it's really prophecy. The scriptures talk about how we will wake up. All right. This man would rather be spiritually dead than to continue holding on to this faith. And I mean, some things he ain't they don't teach right in Sakari. Like for example, they cover their heads when they teach. They wear ski masks, do rags, fitted caps, even when they teaching, man. All right, they wear those things, and the scriptures talk about that. You see, they let their men have extremely long hair. Okay, I've seen some. All right, tell you ain't nothing wrong with it. Remember, I seen Al-Azhar, picture him, I guess, talking to somebody, right, with a ski mask on and chains. What is that? You a leader, So this man, he said all of that, right? Remember, he talked against the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I remember hearing that years ago, right? Remember this guy, he he talked against him, but remember it came out that he got, pegged and whatnot. Okay. Now you come out and he was crying on camera like a little bitch too. All right. Chief. Okay. But then you come out, now it's coming out that you done fell out. So the Lord is not with you. All right. He's not with Al-Azhar. All right. That Sakari camp just needs to learn from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This man had men that look up to him, man. Okay? And now look at him. Now look at these guys. And split up. But when they talk about it's a movement, one of the scriptures that came to mind is this. Acts 5. And Acts 5 and 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it. Thus haply ye be found even to fight against the Most High. Okay, so, so basically, with this whole thing about, being a Hebrew Israelite and all of that, which I mean, look, once again, there's other Israelite camps out there that don't teach the correct doctrine. GMS is the camp that teaches the correct doctrine, 100% true. Look, if you're not teaching the same doctrine as GMS, then you're not teaching the truth. All right? Why would you teach somebody a certain amount of truth and then the rest lies? That doesn't make sense. Got to be 100% truth. You have to have the correct message. And Sakari, they don't have the correct. They don't have 100% truth, man, because one example I gave you was that they teach covering their head, and the Apostle Paul talked about that. When you pray and prophesy, you're supposed to not cover your head, man. All right, that's just one thing. Okay, but basically, look, this whole, I mean, especially with Great Mills. Look, let me say it like this. Actually, all these Israelite camps out here, right, and Great Millstone gets scoffed at as well, and Al-Azhar has talked against brothers in Great Millstone and the apostles before. All right, and I'm pretty sure people would be happy to see Great Millstone, GMS, collapse. But as I said, if this be the Most High, you can't overthrow it. And look at what's happening, right? Great Millstone is still pushing on strong. All right, amongst all of this that's going on, even amongst these camps. Okay, but as far as Al-Azhar saying it's a movement, being a Hebrew Israelite is not a movement. For anyone out there that might have a demon on their mind saying that, all right, all you got to do is go into the scriptures. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 37. All right, and brothers have done breakdowns on this. All right, but Ezekiel the 37th chapter. I'm going to get to the point. Let me get this real quick. Proverbs 21 and 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Meaning, in other words, if you don't have this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, aka this truth, then you're going to remain spiritually dead, right? So now let's go back to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, and starting at verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel, because it goes into dry bones, right? You know, this chapter, which is dry bones of the Israelites, not knowing who they are. Dry bones, spiritually dead. Right? It says, Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. You see? So basically the Lord will wake us up to the truth, and we start realizing that we're Israelites. Okay? You know, it's prophecy. Okay? You know, it's not some type of movement that somebody just started out of nowhere. That's what a lot of people think, and they're wrong because they don't understand the scriptures. Okay? But let's examine, you know, Sakari's chief real quick, some more.
They're actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. And
I'm saying we cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. That sounded like something that you know, blockhead Marquette Devon said. You know, so we're pretending to be the Israelites from thousands of years ago. How the hell do we pretend to be the Israelites when we're their literal descendants? When we are them. Okay, but oh well. And it's crazy you said this, because you call yourself Grla Hebrew at the same time. What's wrong with you, man? You know, the Lord took his mind. That's what's wrong with him.
they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The Israelites have been have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand that Hebrew Israelites consensually are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously.
You know, another thing, I always wonder, why is his face always, you know, snarled up on one side? Look on the right side of his face, like it's snarled up.
Have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand that Hebrew Israelites consensually are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Weird stuff, man. But let's keep listening. He's gonna say some other stuff.
Hebrew Israelite debates, Eliezer, the same recycled, backwash topics. I think not. I've been there. I've done that. I came. I saw. I conquered that. I'm just letting you know. All I gotta say is all them niggas need to get in my debate course. That's all I'm gonna say. Because the things I do see or the things I do hear about, they need help. They need help, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all them niggas need to go ahead and get up in the Cutthroat Academy. Because what I see, not good. Okay. Not horrible all the time, but niggas need help, for real. I'm on TikTok. I'm going to be doing exclusive premium lives for subs only once a week also. Appreciate you, Umu.
I want to make my wrongs.
Did you come with the follow? Come with the follow, too. We turn up. I want you to understand something. I'm in my unlimited era right now. You're going to see all forms of content on here. You're going to see real game. You're going to see Bible talk. You're going to see funny stuff. You're going to see me talking to broads. You're going to see how fresh I am. You're going to see family content.
So the man went back into the world. But listen.
You're going to see hood stuff. You're going to see everything.
Hood stuff? Really? Hood stuff? That's what you're going to push out there? After all this time you done, you know, put yourself up as a chief of something and men look up to you. Now you want to push out hood stuff among all the other stuff you was talking about? Let's keep listening.
I'm unlimited. Right? Praise the Lord. You're going to see debates. I'm unlimited now. Right?
But he just said, and remember in the beginning he said he doesn't consider himself a Hebrew Israelite. Right? But in the same video that you're doing this in, what does this say right here? Follow me at Grla Hebrew. Twitch.tv/Chief Grla. And then you're saying you're going to do Bible stuff? Like, what? The fuck? Anyways, you know.
Just me. I'm doing everything that I want to do.
That you want to do, right? That's the point. He said he doing what he want to do now. Yahweh Shai didn't tell the elect to do what they want to do. Yahweh Shai told the elect, occupy till I come. All right? But you want to... This reminds me of a certain scripture. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6. Starting in verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So basically what you value is what, your mind, which is your heart, right? Your spirit, your energy, that's what that's going to be into. And this man, he obviously, values the world, okay, over the Lord. So he's going to be, so that's what he's into, that's where his treasure is. And that's where his heart is, man, into this world. He done fell out. Al-Azhar has called it quits. And I personally know someone, going back some years, he learned the truth, and we was talking, I thought he was basically a upcoming brother, someone I know personally, from my childhood that had learned about the truth and everything, right? And then I told him about it, and basically he ended up falling out. Okay, he went back into being a Muslim, and he's not even really a fucking Muslim, man. But anyway, you know how Jake is. They don't keep up with Islam neither. All right, but the point is, I looked at him like, you're a bitch, man. Because of some tribulation or whatever. You let something get you out of the truth. I looked at him as a bitch. I to this day I have disdain for this man. It's just going to show you that falling out the truth is not a good thing. Is at all. That's the worst thing you can do. All right, is turn your back on the Lord. Now in the kingdom of heaven, you're gonna come back and loathe yourself for that. You see, you're gonna loathe yourself for turning your back on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Because here it is. The Lord, Yahweh, has men that are standing up for him in this world, this wicked-ass world. And so does Yahweh Shai. All right, so you falling out the truth, you basically telling him that you ain't going to do it anymore. You fucking sick, man. All right? Sickening. Okay? But, he's just not a part of the truth. So don't be surprised if, something bad, really, really, really bad happens to Al-Azhar, man. If the Lord does something to him, put him to death, all right, or take some limbs from him or whatever. Just don't be surprised if something really, really bad happens to this man. He done turned his back. He has officially turned his back. All right. And once again, let this be a message to you, to y'all in Sakari, to leave that camp, man, and start learning under the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Like Apostle Tahar, always says, the elect are going to come out of those different various camps, okay? Outside of GMS. The elect is going to come out of them. All right, so let me read this back in Hebrews 10 real quick. Start from where I began. Hebrews 10, I'm going to read it in the NLT to the end. On the right side of the screen. Hebrews chapter 10, starting in verse 35. So do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord, your faith. Remember the great reward it brings you. Your faith has a great reward. Patient endurance is what you need now. See, endurance, so that you will continue to do the Most High's will. And you know what this reminds me of? That scripture in Sirach, man. Okay. Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. The point me to constantly endure. Man just fell out. He just fell out, man. He's a sucker, man. So now you love this world, now you're going to die with it. But Hebrews 10:36, patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do the Most High's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. And by the way, don't think that Esau is not about to Just because you don't associate, don't think not because you don't, first off, you was the head of Sakari, right? And then I remember in another video, you said you grateful for all the men the Lord has given you, meaning you have men under you that, are taught under you and everything. Now you done turn your back. Woo! Can you imagine that, having leaders that you learned under and you studying the breakdowns they give you and you believe it wholeheartedly? Now your leader just turns his back on you. Imagine that, right? Whereas our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, they haven't. 30, 40 plus years, man. But it says, patient endurance is what you need now so that you will continue to do the Most High's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. For in just a little while, the coming one will come and not delay. And my righteous ones will live by faith. But I will take no pleasure in anyone who turns away. Listen to this, verse 39. But we, Akim, are not like those who turn away from Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai to their own destruction. We are the faithful ones whose souls will be saved, Lord willing. All right, but we not of them, as it says in verse 39, but we are not of them who draw back unto perdition. All right, we're not associated with that, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. Okay, so, amen. Hold on to the faith. It's just another message, brothers, to hold on to this faith. Hold on. Don't let nothing sway you off, man. Revelation chapter 3, verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, which is your faith. Yahweh Shai said this. This is why it's in red letters. Hold that fast which thou hast. Let me look at that word fast, man. See if it'll come up. I don't know if it will because I'm not in good connection, but it might. All right, carteo. And it says, the point is, it says to hold in the hand, to hold fast, i.e., in NS, or you could say, an example, not discard or let go, to keep carefully and faithfully, to continue to hold, to retain, of death continuing to hold one, to hold. All right, so to hold on. Hold that fast which thou hast, which is your faith, that no man take thy crown. So hold on to this faith, man. Hold on to it. Revelation 2, 25 to 26. So look, Al-Azhar, man, you are now eligible to be destroyed. Okay? You are now eligible to be destroyed. Revelation chapter 2, starting at verse 25. But that which ye have already, which is his faith, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. How Yahweh said, you hold on to this faith, he's going to give you power and rulership over these heathens. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. See that? There you have it, man. And there's various other rewards Yahweh Shai is going to give to his elect, man. All right, that are going to hold on to the end. Okay? So, amen, that was that. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Hold on and keep the faith, Lord willing, to the end, Akim. Shalom.